Greetings and salutations, Focused Up family. Welcome to the November 1, 2025 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms. Catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy. Nice as the word saint, spelled backwards. And today, my co-hosts are Brother Walk, host of Sex Talk with Walk, Thursday at 9 p.m. Looking pretty grimacing over there. We got Mr. Afro Agnostic, star of those Afro Agnostic videos on social media, TikTok and YouTube and etc. We got Student X, star of Mutant Politics. You know, that happens occasionally on Sundays at
Dr. X. You see that outfit? That's Dr. X right there.
No. But I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Looking very dapper and straight. We got Mr. Floyd X, the boss man, representing for the Doyers.
Dodgers.
That's right, an infamous El Pooh, star of Spin That Back, also on Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. What's going on with you, Brother Walk?
Oh, man, I just had a great night last night. Went trick-or-treating and all kind of stuff. You know, I was in my Jason attire. Voorhees, baby. I never die. Yeah, that's what's going on. Feeling good. All that stuff. Oh, wait. Let me show that. I never die. Yeah. Happy Halloween.
What's going on with you, Mr. Afro Agnostics, brother?
Oh man, it's good to see y'all, brother. See the fusion back here in full effect, and Student X. And say what's up to everybody. So we go get into it. And
what's up? I see you got the nice mic apparatus going on up there, real professional. What's going on with you, dapper sir, Mr. Student X?
Oh, brothers, man, just glad to be with you, brothers. And man, I want to throw a shout out to the queen of accountability, Daphne. Man, we got her. We got her. You know, I don't know if y'all remember the sister that was accusing her brother of hitting her across the head with a rock or brick.
Oh,
yeah, got her.
Rolled up.
Convicted. The whole 9 yards. We gotta hold them accountable, man. Shout out to Daphne. She was key in the case.
Woo, justice, social justice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We coming for Charlie's killers next.
Uh-oh.
Coming.
Uh-oh.
That's on our list.
Uh-oh.
they already got him. But what's going on with you, Mr. Floyd X, sir?
Chilla. I don't watch baseball too much, but I happened to turn on the game last night and saw what I saw. It was a good ending. I appreciate it. Go LA Dodgers. LA all day, every day on mine.
All right, infamous El Pooh, what it do? What's up?
Welcome back, Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy is back in the house. Yesterday was Halloween. Halloween fell on the weekend. Shout out to the Ghetto Boys. And I saw LeBron James out there dressed like a Laker, dressed like a NBA player.
I mean, Bronny.
Lil Bronny.
What about those children that was trick-or-treating? They had the children came back complaining about to trick-or-treat or something. Let's check that clip out real quick.
Hey, happy Halloween. What kind of candy you got in that bucket?
Man, this cheap-ass Dollar Tree candy. I started to put it right back in their motherfucking bowl.
Say that.
Hey, little man, happy Halloween. What kind of candy you got in that bucket?
I got some fucking raisins, man. I almost called 911 on that lady. She wrong for that shit.
No, baby.
That's enough. That was the children for Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys still giving out candy? Shoot, it's like my whole block goes completely dark on Halloween. Not to mention, with the baseball, people's making signs. No, we watching the World Series, but yeah. So.
Somebody came knocking at my door. Me and my wife ran to the door. Oh shit, we forgot to turn the light off.
That's what's up. All right, let's get to the get. First thing up, rest in peace, Brother Peace from Freestyle Fellowship. Now, let me tell you something about this brother. Oh boy, I'm gonna brutalize his name. Mutulazaji, Peace Davis, a founding member of the influential Los Angeles hip hop group Freestyle Fellowship has died. The news was shared on the group's social media pages. Rest well, brother. Peace, the band wrote. You had a great heart and were authentic. One of West Coast hip-hop royal treasures. You will surely be missed, my friend. The cause of death was not given. Just a quick little breakdown on you. In the 1990s, Freestyle Fellowship helped throw the West Coast take on frantic back-and-forth freestyling between the rappers, serving as California's jazz-inspired answer to New York's own Renaissance with the Jungle Brothers. You know what? I don't even like that their take on it. The bottom line is these dudes were pivotal in the movement of the good life, Project Blows, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, they were the people that influenced Busta Rhymes and them to flip it up, you know what I'm saying? Because they were kind of doing like Cold Crush brother routines. Then them brothers went out on tour with Freestyle Fellowship, and next thing you know, we got the Busta that we all love, all know and love. So, you know, salute to that brother.
Hey, real quick.
Okay.
Real quick, before you go, Apple, in honor of the brother, let's play a video so people can get familiar with who we're talking about.
Freestyle 101, G4. I see words in my head, I line them up, arrange them, and then I said, yeah, I spit them, and that's how I led. Freddy's dead, and his is, yeah, turn around, kick rocks, and I slay it. I don't think you understand what I say. When it comes to being gangster, ain't nothing like it, so nigga can answer. Serious as cancer, I was a dancer, then I turned into a lyrical romancer. Give me your...
All right, that's the brother. Salute to that brother. Go ahead, brother. Afro, what you say?
No, and if I may add, man, I don't care what nobody say. There would be no Bone Thugs and Harmony without Freestyle Fellowship. But and I just want to add, man, that brother's, you know, to see him live. I saw him live. I took some students. We used to go to this, you know, place like Poetry Slam place where they did rap and stuff too. And man, and I saw him rap live, and just he jumped into a cipher, a battle, just spontaneously, just because he got excited and jumped in there and just destroyed niggas. It was like, I mean, his inflections, his vocals, his antics, man, and then somebody tried to boss up to him, and somebody had to tell him, man, this dude is a Grape Street Crip, like blah, blah, blah. And he wasn't even bothered though, but yeah, that brother's bad, man. Freestyle was dope.
Super dope.
Cool.
Good Life Tradition, Good Life Cafe, and all that movement. Yeah.
Project Blow, that's what's up. Yeah, and the Born Alive would probably have a lot to say if he was on the show, but that's for real, And I know that El Poo, you have actual special connection to this brother.
Yeah, I knew this brother personally before they even blew up and got their record deal and everything. I knew him from Locke High School. I mean, I'm not gonna put all his business out there, but he was messing around with the teacher. I'll just say that much. And that teacher happened to be his their manager and everything. So salute to that brother. He was a cool cat, man. He used to always see me when I was working in the Crenshaw Mall as security. That brother always called me John. Every time I corrected him, he still called me John. So to the brother.
Cool. Guess what I'm about to start calling you?
You gonna call me El Poo, nigga?
Nigga. El John.
So anybody else got to add? We're moving on. Next up. Oh yeah. So then we had this No Limit versus Cash Money versus. This is the battle for New Orleans. Hey, did you freeze up on me, Mr. Floyd X, or is it really that funny? So anyway, but yeah, so that's what's going on. Cash Money versus No Limit, and I know that Mr. Walk has something he particularly wants to say about this. The floor is yours, brother. Oh damn, brother Johnson.
It was a great battle, baby. Whoa, great battle. No Limit versus Cash Money. Chapatulas in this bitch, baby. It went down, the battle for New Orleans, but they was in the Las Vegas town, but it still went down. I loved every minute of that chat. Went down. But I gotta give it to the No Limit Soldier. I thought I told ya, No Limit Soldier. I thought I told ya, baby. Whoa, they.
All right, what was your take on it, Mr. Afro Agnostic?
Man, that was a beautiful, because I'm always impressed by people who can do accents. That was good. It was a big political disappointment, but I just want to say that the good things, the positive. It was good seeing No Limit and Cash Money on stage together, after all these years, and the way they conducted it, it was they were on stage together, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like separation. It was good to see that symbolic unity. Also, constantly giving shout out to New Orleans, Magnolia, Calio. That was good. That was positive. But I was hoping, man, that the verses could be more like the Kendrick pop-up, like where you can bring actual groups that got beef, that got funk, and bring them together on stage, or I think first of all, man, all
then
that New Orleans
a versus.
I'm saying all that
be a versus, baby.
All right.
Wouldn't be a versus of what?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish what you were saying. Halfway now. Go ahead.
I'm saying, I would have liked to have seen it in New Orleans too. I would have liked to have seen it, or at least they could have had some type of free access to it. This beginning of school year, get some school bags out. I mean, they put out a lot of negative shit, man. Like negative shit, man. I mean, I was in New Orleans when that shit started up, man, and it was so many killing, and they've been sued. They've been proven to be corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to see
you like the verses, man? Come on, bro.
Okay, musically and sonically. Music sonically, Cash Money they got the heavy talent, man. Ain't nobody on No Limit better than Manny Fresh and Lil Wayne. So in terms of who won, they definitely.
Did you even do you have something to say about this dude next? Did you even look at the verses?
Yeah, no, I really don't. I heard a little something, about it going on and whatnot, but you guys know that's not really my forte, but I'm sure it was cool.
Yeah, all right, there go, Mr. Boss Man. You back?
Man, dude, computer just froze on me. But hey, I can't believe I'm just sitting up here listening to Brother Afro just slander, talking about corruption, and we talking about the verses, man. We talking about the music. Who won? And with the win, in my opinion, I thought Cash Money was gonna wash No Limit. That's what I thought. But during the show, if we come to find out that it's all about the presentation, representation, and then the music. And to be clear, let me play BG and his take on who won. Let's hear what BG had to say. The baby gangsta.
Honestly think won the verses. Honestly on some real shit, you heard me? Song for song, it can't f with us, right? You know what I'm saying? But presentation wise, you know what I'm saying? On point, it did come down, camouflage down. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they come through on they No Limit Soldier shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to come down, tease Bulls and Reeds, man, but I couldn't get everybody on the same page, man. But it's all good. At the end of the day, you did 6 figures richer, you know what I'm saying? So, we all won, man. You know what I'm saying? We all won, man. I feel like
they all won. 6 figures richer, they all won.
They won. I'm saying I wanted Magnolia and Calio to get some of it. You know what I'm saying? That's where they come from. They should have done it in that context. Why are you giving a lot of lip service, man? Give some resources to, I know those projects don't exist anymore, but those, maybe the grandchildren of people who come out of that area, man. I think that's really.
Oh, what? But come on, this ain't save the world, baby.
I ain't saying save the world. I'm saying Kendrick's pop-up.
Listen, wait, let me tell you something, bro. These two cliques had a lot of beef, bro. It's a lot of bodies that dropped between Cash Money and No Limit back in the day, bro. This was serious beef. And to bring Baby and Master P together, that's timeless, baby. Come on now. They're bringing the shitty back together, champ. That's why I was born in New Orleans.
That's what they're not doing.
You put a negative spin on this. But wait, hold on, baby.
They're not bringing the city together. They just making money for themselves. That's what I'm saying. Like, if that was the
okay, let me hold on a second. Walk.
Right there, baby. Wait.
And walk. Okay, so anyways, I thought it was dope. That they did all of this stuff. I mean, phonically, to me, it was no question that Cash Money sounded better. But I mean, I thought there was a lot of ignorance on that stage. I mean, I thought it was very
What
sad.
y'all think
You had a whole bunch.
Celine
Again,
Dion, baby?
I'm just doing it. You gonna let me talk? 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 You gonna let me talk?
You done or is you finished?
Mac is free, baby. Mac had 20 years. He got out. He on stage. He's supporting his kids, baby. What y'all talking
Hey, since we
about,
talking
bruh?
about the ignorance on stage, let me play this clip.
Met Juvie. I met Turk. Shout out to Turk, you little bitch. You ain't here, but fuck you. We gonna fuck with you and we won't fuck with you. You heard me? Don't go off script, nigga.
Birdman, y'all can't fuck with me when y'all won't. Y'all fucking over the fans when y'all won't. Cause y'all don't stop my bag. You feel me? You know, the main focus with me, man, is my fans. And my fans are friends always, never shaded. So I'm gonna always do the right thing for my fans, you feel me? Which I have a lot of them worldwide, all over.
Long as I'm alive, Cash Money ain't gonna never die.
Hey, salute to Young Turk. I wish he would have been in the verses. It would have been great to see him there. Salute to Lil Wayne. I wish he would have been there. And you know, some people say that the reason that Lil Wayne don't show up is because when they try to exclude Turk from it, he got an issue with that because it ain't Hot Boys unless it's all of them. So salute to Lil Wayne if that's the case, because I also heard it might be a financial situation where he like, hey man, y'all got to drop the bag on me. I don't care what y'all giving the rest of them Hot Boys, but me as Hot Boy Lil Wayne, I need a bigger bag. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. But
hey, did they shout out Mystical? I mean, I know they played his little part when whatchamacallit, when Snoop Dogg was doing, with his little part. But I'm just saying I didn't hear him shout out Mystical.
No, they couldn't. He's facing rape charges. It would be bad.
They shout out C Murder. I mean, this is what they're celebrating though. This is actually in the music, man. Like you can actually do a count on the number of times you hear kill, the word kill, killer, the word bitches, the word hoes,
but we talk about rape.
Drug. Man, nigga, it's related. It happens in that context a lot.
That's you brought about his comment, man. When you pull out that nigga, that's when you really done violated. Oh, cool. What you got to say about this? What you got to say about this?
Baby.
Damn, I was gonna say it was a win for the culture, but now I might want to take that back. But I think it was good for hip hop. That's all I got to say about it.
All right, that's what's up. So, what we got next after that? Dodgers. Doyers. They thought we were dead in the water. 2 games left out there in Toronto. We thought Drake was finally going to get a win. Nope. It's going to be a game 7 for all the marbles. All hands on deck. So, it's the winner's going to, I guess, to the winner goes to spoils. So we'll see. It's undetermined, but the bottom line, 5 o'clock today, Pacific time, we're going to find out who the World Series champ is. And maybe Drake will get a win. Maybe he'll get another L. What you got to say about this, Brother Walt? He's probably changing costumes. What you got to say about this, Brother Afro Agnostic?
Oh, I don't have too much to say, man.
Wait a second. Sorry, he's muted. He's muted. Maybe he was saying something. Did he do it? Okay, yeah, he did it. So Afro Agnostic, go ahead, brother. Sorry.
I'm just pulling for the Dodgers, man. Anything to, I can't let Drake get a win, So.
Hasn't he taken enough beating? Hasn't he lost enough?
I want to de-soul him. I want to make him suicidal,
Ouch.
Wow.
Do the next.
Talking about peace in the community and peace. Come on, Brother Afro.
That's a different community, man.
Exactly. Hypocrite Nazis.
What you got to say about this, Walt, before I get to you, student next? I know you got something to say about this.
I don't really follow baseball like that.
That's cool. So student next, go ahead. What's up on these Dodgers?
Now, I always watch baseball around World Series time, especially if it's a good regional team like the Dodgers. And man, I'm excited, man. Game 6 was off the chain. It kept you on the heels of your chair, but now we're coming into a game 7, and it's just setting up, for potentially a brilliant performance for Ohtani. He's going to be pitching this game as well as hitting, and it's really setting up for something. He already has established himself as having the best game ever in the history of the Major League Baseball. But this could be epic. A Game 7 World Series in LA. Man, it's gonna be beautiful. So I can't wait.
That's what's up. Got something to say about this, boss man? With all that Dodgers in the background, you just said enough.
And the Dodgers win. Want the Dodgers to win. That's it.
El Pooh, what you got to say, brother?
Man, I love LA. That's all I got to say. First of all, I gotta say I love LA. Otani, and I gotta say last night even Freddie was ready. So come on. Fingers crossed for tonight. Fingers crossed. This is it. Game 7. Let's go.
All the marbles. So next up, for the first time in 35 years, no rap songs in the Billboard 100 Top 40. So it says it's a 35-year streak of rap songs charting on the Billboard Hot 100 has come to an end. Billboard announced on Wednesday, October 29, that Kendrick Lamar's song Luther, featuring SZA, has been removed from the chart tracker following the rule change. So bottom line is that we needed Kendrick Lamar just to be on the damn rap, top 40. That's a testament to where music is.
It ain't rap. If it ain't Kendrick, it ain't rap.
Hey, shout out to all the OGs that are dropping real music, though. I understand you're not gonna make the Billboard Top 40, but there's a lot of OGs, old heads, doing some stuff, some big things. So go ahead and support that.
Then y'all do a spin that back called Old Heads, New Music.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So what's fueling this? In you all's humble opinion, what's fueling this? Why is there?
I think absolutely. When you talk about what's fueling this or what's causing this, I think that you look at the last 35 years, what didn't exist then that exists now. MAGA, the MAGA movement. There's a political shift. Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear what somebody got to say. Hold up.
Go ahead, brother. Finish.
Flush the toilet, homeboy. Go ahead. Go. What'd you say? #960.
Political changes cause cultural shifts, and we see that at the same time. Hip hop is being removed from the top 100. Country music is gaining more placement, and for the first time in Billboard history, country music has made the top 3. Never before, because it's always been a very white, rural type of genre. But guess what? It resonates with fucking MAGA, and the whole, patriotism is big in that music. Also, it has been attracting a lot of black artists. Beyonce dropped, Lil Nas X. You got that? What's that dude? Shabu. Yeah, they would ordinarily be classified R&B and hip hop, but now they're charting as country, which makes it look like hip hop and R&B is falling off the list. I mean, this is Billboard. They've been around since the 50s. They change the rules every time they change the rules. Certain genres rise and fall based on those changes, and those changes are based on changes in the political climate. I don't see how that's hard to believe.
Yeah. So allow me, if I can,
I think that was worthy of a horn. Go ahead, let's do the next one.
No, I actually agree with them to a certain degree in terms of the MAGA influence. I wouldn't call it necessarily the MAGA influence. I think there's probably a better word. It's probably like black fatigue, I think is the word that is trending right now, and so that comes into play, just in general. But then when he talks about the country, he being Afro, about the country music influence, and how that's leading, I will argue is the opposite. The reason why country music has picked up steam is absolutely because of some of those that you name who have come into country, and the fact that country now has the same producers as hip hop and R&B. So when you have like modern mainstream black country stars like Kane Brown that's coming in the game, killing the game. Darius Rucker's been around for a while. Jimmy Allen, Mickey Guyton, Beyonce. I still don't necessarily qualify that album as country, but she made a contribution. You got up and coming people like Tanner Adele. Breland's been around for a second. So I would say the rise in the country genre is there's like really a change of consciousness to where people don't want to hear all the debauchery, the buffoonery, the language. They want something a little bit more wholesome, even though I would say on whole, that the country music does celebrate more alcohol, versus maybe rap, which tends to be whatever. You see what I'm saying? So I think that is what we're seeing more than anything, or why rap is no longer inside that Billboard.
I agree more with that last part.
Okay. Okay.
No. Wait a second. Walk, did you have something to say about this?
I agree more with the last part of what Student X said, because it's like people are getting more into the like regular life, not this fictional, I done killed a bunch of people and
That's Money No Limit battle, that type of stuff that you saw there. Yeah.
But hey, that was from 98, brother. That's 98, not Cash Limit, No Limit, baby. Come on now, we talking about 2025, bro. Come on, bro. Don't get me back into my normal stand out there. Don't chat. Okay. I think it's more like, because it is just a bunch of, they're not saying nothing. That's why we've seen the emergence more of these old school rappers like Raekwon, Slick Rick, Nas, that's putting out some real potent albums. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it's more on that level. It's just a lot of crap music, in my humble opinion, that's out. And they're removing it off the playlist. It's a lot of songs that you can't even listen to without having with your kids around, stuff like that.
I think that analysis and Student X analysis, I think it misses the point that the reason hip hop arose in the charts, I think first in 1990, was because they changed the rules. I'm saying every time they change the rules, it causes harm to some genres, and then it is helpful to other genres. I mean,
so do we have an example of some of these rules that change? What's an example of a rule change that would affect music?
Well,
they started initially. The Billboard was based on self-reporting from record stores and then the number of plays from the radio stations. But that was self-reporting. It was based on a lot of payola. So when they went to SoundScan, for instance, that's when hip hop started to chart. Like, oh, this is actually selling way more than the metrics that we use to say something is popular or selling the most. So that changed where that made hip hop chart on the Billboard in the first place, because it became more accurate.
So do you have an example of the recent change that just changed to knock Luther off of the chart?
They changed the frequency. Like, for instance, if a song stays a certain, if it's in the top 10, but it drops to 12 and or in 78, say 100 weeks, as opposed to 78 weeks. So they lowered the frequency, the number of weeks that it can stay, or that it can fall below the top tier. And it falls off the chart, not like lower. It gets thrown off. So they change these rules up all the time, and it's political. It's again to
Project 2025.
Bro, hey, look, thank God, because the culture is like, for example, the earlier clip that you all showed with, acting like there was a baby, talking about getting candy and how vulgar it was. I mean, to like normal people, that's not like cool. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be like laughing at that, think that was funny, or we would be correcting that child, but it's celebrated, in this culture, I mean, we could go on. I mean, it's to me, like, as I was talking about earlier.
Point taken. Wait. I think point taken. It was AI, but still, no, but the point is that it would be celebrated. It doesn't matter if it's AI. It's the type of thing that would be celebrated. Like, to me, I didn't celebrate it. So I get what he's saying. That having been said, let's talk about MC8 before we go to the break. MC8 said early West Coast hip hop was trash. What you got to say about that, Brother Walk?
Well, I think MC8 is just really Monday morning quarterbacking, because if you listen to the rap from back then, it doesn't compare to what's out right now. Some songs lasted, but just because it's old school hip hop don't mean it's necessarily still good today. But that genre, that techno beats and things like that, the West Coast was kind of emulating what New York was doing as far as with the music and how they was dressing and what they was doing. Like, it was like Mantronics and certain groups and certain styles of beats, like Beat Street. Well, there was, what I'm saying, the sound was totally different. And it was even on the West Coast with Rock Berry. And there was jams that was playing at World on Wheels, and people was loving it. So MC8 just talking about what's going on now and how he was feeling, because he was thugged out. He was gangbanging. They was listening to more bounce to the ounce and computer, computer love, like them Roger Zapp beats, stuff like that at the parties. They wasn't, So I hear where you're coming from, but it wasn't trash back then. Now I wouldn't say that much.
Great point, brother Alpha Ignace. What you got to say about that?
Well, I agree with Walt on that. It wasn't trash, and I think what he's referring to is the electro funk phase, which started, like he said, in New York. In Detroit, it evolved into techno. I know over there on the West Coast, it evolved into electric, whatever that Egyptian lover. And unknown,
How dare you say that, Uncle Jam? How dare you say that?
That was the shit. What I'm saying is that in New York, you had like Run DMC, LL. They disrupted that. Marley Marl. They disrupted that sound, but everywhere else, you didn't have that strong presence to disrupt that electro funk. So it lasted a little longer and evolved in a different way in different places. So that's what he's referring to. It's just the electro funk. It's a certain earlier we associated with the early 80s, Bambaataa. We was just talking about Hashim and
Cybertron.
Yeah, that that Cybertron and all that.
I'm pretty sure the UK's got something to say about where this stuff originated from, because they were doing a lot of stuff before that. A lot of the New Yorkers was using the stuff, Art of Noise and stuff like that. So, yeah, exactly. So,
brothers, I can speak on this now, because the thing is that when MCA came out and said this, I thought, first of all, it was hypocritical, because, a lot of people say that people like him, they actually, grab East Coast techniques and then apply them to like this G-Funk later and samples and whatnot. But the foundation came from those that he said, were whack, essentially, but not really, because some of the people he really named was Run DMC, UTFO, Just Ice, Roxanne, Sparky D, Ultramagnetic, Sugar Hill Gang. You see what I'm saying? But, I understand what he's saying, but, I don't think he said it right. We always have to have a respect for the pioneers, and those.
Come on, brother.
He wasn't referencing them. He was referencing the electro funk artists in LA, like Egyptian Lover, Unknown DJ, because you remember Run DMC and all of them, they were new school when they came out in 84, 85. The whole sound was different from Divine Sounds or
right. No, I agree, but listen to how he said it. He said that those artists got him hooked on rap's potential. You know what I mean? He didn't come out and be like, "Oh man, these cats was dope and whatnot." So he was kind of being a little bit, diplomat, in that situation. But he never really came out and gave, East Coast rappers, their respect. I feel, you know what I mean? But teach them.
Let me play the clip. I got the clip here. Let's see what he's here in his own words.
Right from the
all rap music was bullshit. I don't give a fuck what nobody said.
You talking about Compton or West Coast?
Just period.
Okay.
Our shit was bullshit.
Because you had Mixmaster Spade, you had Lonzo,
but
and
we had
World
them
Class
on
Wrecking Crew.
We had them on the strictly. You had to be real hood affiliated ghetto nigga to know about Todd and Spade in the early days.
Yeah.
We had niggas like Bobby Jimmy and the Critters and shit with
Right.
songs like
Right.
Roaches and shit. Come on,
I remember
man.
that shit.
Come on, real talk.
I remember that shit.
Be real.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
had
yeah.
shit like that. We had no disrespect.
Yeah, I got you.
loved Egyptian
I got
Lover,
you.
but we
Yeah.
had Egyptian Lover.
Yeah.
We had the Wrecking Crew.
The Wrecking Crew.
Turn
Yeah.
off the lights
Yeah.
and shit. We
Yeah.
didn't have
It was like a techno type of thing.
because that's who I
Yeah.
came up through.
Right.
Unknown. He had tech.
I'm gonna cut it there. It's too disrespectful to me. I don't appreciate him saying that shit, man. He just trashing old school like Arabian Prince. I used to like his music. It sounded good.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It was good music. Like
especially then, when we were there, man, we was bumping
it's
it.
what we had. We should respect what we had. He just said it was trash. That's like somebody coming up. That's like somebody coming out after MCA say, man, that gangster rap was trash. The shit when the gang, that was the true gangster rap. That other shit was trash. NWA and MCA, that was trash. That's what he's doing.
Also you got to think about this. As I remember as a break dancer, we embraced like really East Coast culture. You know what I'm saying? With the fat shoelaces and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Break dancing, and basically what really sort of like played out break dancing was sort of like the gangsters. They were like literally like, y'all sitting there doing all that too much shit. We we don't dance, we boogie type of stuff. And I'm just saying that there was a movement from them that kind of pushed that out. So to me, this is sort of like representative of that mindset that just was just like they, because they, I mean, and it wasn't just.
I'm guilty as charged. You know what I'm saying? My bad, brother. You know, I mean, I wasn't trying to. I didn't understand the ramifications of my actions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real. That really happened, and it didn't happen just on the West Coast. Brick Walls told me it was the same situation over on the East Coast. It just happened. But I don't know if this is a good time to go to the break.
Perfect time.
Yeah, perfect time.
Hell yeah. La Brea Trucking for all of your trucking needs. East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to East Coast, North to South, South to West, North to West, and all the other places. Yeah, La Brea Trucking. If you need something delivered, y'all saw the phone number at the end. Give them a call. Go Dodgers.
That's gobealive.org. Go get you some of that black honey. And if you want it in person, go to the Petty Vice in Venice or to the Afro City Marketplace at the Crenshaw Mall. Salute, Mr. Nidra.
Welcome back, nice guy. Welcome back. Good to have you back. Score, Bar and Lounge, Black owned, 7123 Franklin Boulevard. Go check them out. Go watch the Dodgers game tonight at the Score Bar and Lounge. I'm pretty sure it'll be on one of those 9 TVs they have up in there. Go check it out while playing some pool and eating some good food and drinking some good drink. Score, Bar and Lounge.
Turn up the dial, it's 10:30. Be back. Spin that back show, all the classics on track. From 79 to 99, we're crossing the gap. Album reviews, little known facts, hip hop intact. Saturday mornings, dive into the history. Samples and stories, old school mysteries. Early self-static, Shiraz of TBD. No about a ping.
Yeah, spin that back show. We won't be on this week, but go back to the Focus Up channel and check out some of those old shows we didn't have. We will be back before Sex Talk with Walk. I promise you that.
Sex Talk with Walk every Thursday. I got a show coming up this Thursday. It's gonna be off the chain. Take that, Elfu.
Focus Up Network. Salute. Membership. Salute. Appreciate you.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, so now we let's talk about Sonya Massey. This is an update. This is the sister that I guess called the police. I think she's the one that called the police, right, to her house.
Yeah.
They showed up. Yeah, and exactly. So the bottom line is the dude got found guilty. So I mean that's really the update about this. I mean, it was a crazy situation. You talking about you call the police, they come to your house, and you could tell that she just was maybe not the I don't know what's going on with her, but I mean she was obviously having some issues, and he just had no sympathy to it. And then he ends up shooting her because he's worried about her having like a pot water. You know what I'm saying? Water for it's a gun. So I'm glad that he was at least found guilty. We'll see how it plays out as far as what the punishment's gonna be. But what you got to say about this, Brother Walt?
I know this. I've been in heated situations. I remember a dude had a knife. He wasn't like coming at me right away, but I took the knife from him. I didn't have to shoot him and kill him, even though I did have a fake gun. So this is just more police officers with that trigger happy finger. especially when it comes to somebody black. He's seen an opportunity to kill an unarmed black person, and he really thought he was going to get away with it. But here's one thing that's going on. I've been noticing since he got convicted, they were talking about him getting sentenced. They was like he can get up to 2 years probation or 20 years or 10 years. It's like they trying to implement that he ain't going to get that much time.
That's why we asked the question, will justice be served? Because 2 years ain't shit. Not for killing a sister like that.
That's 2 years of probation. That's super ain't shit. Yeah. You know.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
what
you got? Sorry, go ahead.
I was doing the research or whatever, and I saw that the video, they called the police. Her mother called the police on her like 22 hours before she got killed, and they was calling the police back and forth, and there was a issue about whether she was taking her medication and stuff or not. But then none of that justifies what the cop, because when they asked during the trial, when they asked his partner, were you in fear of your life that day? He said, I was in fear of my life, but not of her. I was in fear of my life because my partner just killed somebody. So he was more in fear of his partner than he was of her.
Ooh, that was fire right there.
Yep.
That's the thing about it, stepping up. You know, it's like we understand that all cops aren't bad, but when the other cops cover for the bad cops, they bad cops too. So salute to that brother. Yeah. So what you got to say about this brother Student X?
Yeah. You know, I like some things about it, but of course, you know, it's also, you know, something that I'm not particularly happy about. But I understand the second degree murder charge only because they're saying that premeditation was lacking, and they're right. He didn't come to that house with the sole intention of killing their sister, you know, but, you know, obviously there was something in him that allowed that to transpire. And so the key is going to be in judging if there's justice being served is how many years does he get? You know, what is the sentence? And we'll see, you know, how that goes, you know, but in general, you know, this is just another example of, you know, we're not staying in the 60s today. We can hold, you know, law enforcement officials accountable right here in the greater, you know, Sacramento area. Recently, there was a verdict that was handed down to a sister that was mishandled, you know, to the tunes of millions of dollars. You know, I mean, these cities are having to cough up that money. And because of that, policies are changing. And so people got to stay vigilant in that. But, you know, it's also why I would say that, you know, in particular, if you've done no wrong, you know, that, you know, running from the police and doing anything other than, you know, being compliant, you know, in those situations are the best thing to do to get a more favorable outcome. When now where the sister made a mistake and she was too compliant. You know what I mean? You know, she invited people coming to the home and everything else. She was doing too much, but also I think, you know, we know that she wasn't in her full right mind, you know, and unfortunately she paid for it. But, you know, I'm glad that, you know, that this gentleman is going to be held accountable, but let's see just how much accountable he'll be held.
Hey, Afro Agnostics, you there? I see your videos there, but
damn, hold up.
That's why I skipped over you. I thought I skipped over you. But go ahead.
Notice I wasn't there. Okay.
Trump had something to do with the. Never mind.
Go ahead, Afro.
Go ahead, brother. My bad.
We associate soul music with a political movement, but somehow this is okay. But anyway, but no, this is a case of institutional responsibility or the lack of institutional responsibility or accountability. You know, conservatives talk real big about personal responsibility, but this dude that killed Sonya Massey was a homicidal maniac. I mean, he was this officer in Grayson. He was discharged from the Army for serious misconduct. He worked in six different police departments within the span of only 4 years because he was under investigation at every single police department. And then they hire him in Sangamon County. They should be held responsible for that. And, you know, they were sued. They won, you know, misconduct. Things get paid. The county pays. The city pays. The police department never pays. This is the meaning of defund the police. Now, y'all take that shit out y'all's salary, and I bet you things will start to change. That's real institutional accountability right there.
Yeah, no, the key would be going after their bonds, you know, but they do pay because the city and that local government, they're the ones who fund the police's effort, You know, so they're obviously going to take a hit in those
No,
situations.
their budget goes up every year. It's not based on the number of misconduct. I wish it would. That would make the police more accountable. Like if you reduce misconduct, especially in the Black community where it's disproportionate misconduct, and then the Black community ends up having to pay. I mean, my family got payout, my dad, for misconduct. It's very common, disproportionately,
for sure,
practice amongst Black people, and the police departments don't pay. Their salaries go up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The bonds, going after their bonds is what the key is, because then they can't work.
Go after that salary, that bread, man. I don't know what you mean when you say bonds, but if they get less money.
Wait a second, hold on a second. Before we get too far, I want to say, first of all, shout out to brother JC. He said, top of the morning. He said Big U's son got chipped last night as well.
Yeah, I don't want to put that information out there because we don't know if it's true or not.
Gotcha, understood.
Yeah.
So you got some take on this infamous El Poo?
Yeah, it's just a sad situation. Rest in peace to the sister, and expect some more of this stuff because I don't think I got any funds on my EBT card today, so this might happen a bit more often.
Oh boy, that is like a real thing. I didn't think about that. So the SNAP resolution. So yeah, that's gonna impact some real people. Yeah, politics, very ugly. So next up, we got sorry, go ahead. I'm tripping on you, Mr. Footex. I'm gonna get out the way. The Studstitute. Now, this is not our description. This is the description of on TikTok of this situation. But yes, let the video speak for itself, and then we'll comment on it.
They was really a breeze. My kids ain't had to do too much, man. I really, to be honest, I let them do whatever they want to do. Yes, I'm that type of teacher. Took me a little lunch break. Yeah, they got it going on at this joint. They stay bound, okay then. Damn, shorty. Sheesh. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids trying to take me down, man. Then I look so young, I look like one of them. Appreciate it. You know, my little free time, I had to go out there and give me some little content, little fit check. Really just a chill fit today. Cause y'all know if it was up to me, I would have been rough and head to toe. Y'all know I ain't lying. But they did have a pep rally and came clutch. And that was the typical day.
All right, so that's the substitute. A substitute teacher. She got fired on her first day there, her 1 day there. She went there, then posted that to TikTok, and she was fired. Justifiably fired.
I mean, it's just like, dude. I mean, first of all, as a teacher, no way it should be okay. You sitting there making comments like "damn shorty" and stuff like that. I mean, this is way out of pocket. The fact that you're a female, still not a free pass. You know what I'm saying? So it's way inappropriate. It's not even grown up in the least. There's nothing professional about this. You're worrying about content. You got a real job, and you sitting there filming stuff. Who would even think that it's okay just to even film your office, your class, and put students on the internet? This is, you know what I'm saying? You should understand that this is probably illegal and it's definitely unethical. So it just blows your mind that some people are so thirsty for attention that they would be so reckless as far as, their career. But you as a teacher, I love to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, man. I just want to detangle this from her having the appearance of a stud. I mean, she has all the characteristics of someone we would put as queer or LGBTQ, because a lot of people have been characterizing it and associating it with that, but it has nothing to do with that. It's people that look like her all the time, but more appropriate, I will say, because the guy also, because he criticized her dress. It's not about respectability politics or looking a certain way or looking professional, but you should not look like the students. And she looks like the students. Right. You got to have, your studification, whatever that is, has to be more of an adult studification. You can't dress, like it's in the army.
That word in my life.
Yeah.
It's a new world today,
real quickly though, but she was inappropriate. She said because most predators who think like she thinks, because I know an ex-homie of mine that was a predator, and they often use that comment that the person came on to them first. And that's what she was kind of letting on to in the video, like these they trying to bring her down. No, that's you. They're not even thinking about that. That's you. You said the quiet, private thoughts of a predator out loud. You know what I'm saying? That's why you guys don't have a job. You a liability. You a red flag. You unprofessional. And so they did the right.
She can't understand why she got fired or why people attacking or criticizing her. She can't understand it. Like, that's just how I talk. It happened in the state of Mississippi, and she was.
We don't even know. I'm sorry. We don't even know what she teach. She talked about everything else, but what does she teach?
Aren't like substitute teachers? Aren't they like broad? They just fill in, right?
Oh, she was a
substitute.
Oh, that's right. You said stuff. Okay,
substitute.
And that's the problem. That's her problem. I mean, it's gonna be hard for her to get a job going forward after this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you might have derailed your whole career.
That's another.
Go ahead.
Real quick, that's another point I want to touch on because some people did the research and went to her Instagram page, and I got the video, but I don't know if y'all want to see it. On her Instagram page, she like all them pictures taken by herself. She got some pictures where she puts a toy in her pants and make it look like she got a package down there, and she taking pictures just walking around. I mean, she's doing this on Instagram, and then she go teach at school. Come on, you can't do that.
That's the student next. What you got to say about this?
Yeah, I think you guys covered it, man. The sister was tripping. Regardless of orientation, she was absolutely tripping, and I agree. A lot of predator type of vibes, and that's it. That's all.
That's what's up, El Pooh.
I think y'all summed it up pretty well.
So that having been said, is social media bad for children? Well, her social media is very bad for children. But I would say that social media is an outlet to be a part of a bigger community. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we grew up, you have the people on your block, you have the people in your neighborhood, people that you go to school with. The internet opens you up to a whole different world. I mean, a lot of us, our connection is internet. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it broadens your community. It opens up possibilities, but it also exposes you to more predators. So it's extremely dangerous, and it takes great discipline and some parenting, as far as allowing your kid to be on it. But I mean, put it this way. I'll never forget. We used to have to go to the library to do book reports. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now with the internet just puts everything right at your fingertips. So it's overall a great thing. But the bottom line is social media is dangerous when you got kids committing suicide behind it. It's dangerous when you got predators hooking up with people behind it. And I mean, anything that's just not building up kids and doing better is just going to be bad. So that's my take on it. What you got to say about this, brother Afro Agnostic?
Well, I think the answer is partially already pre-exists in the way that the social media is set up. Most social media, you have to be 13, and that's for a reason, partly to protect the privacy of children, but still the whole idea is to protect children. And we know we already got laws in place around protecting children because of their brain development. You can't charge them as adults. They make stupid decisions. They fall under peer pressure. We protect them for certain type of, you can't smoke cigarettes, can't drink alcohol. So I think we definitely need to protect. A lot of neuroscience has come out showing that kids should not be exposed to social media until they are around 16. And I just think we need to raise the age limit. There's already the 13 there, but that 13 is around privacy, not around brain development.
Student next, what you got to say about this, brother?
Yeah, that's absolutely accurate. There's already plenty of studies that show how much time children should spend using these various, media, in particular for entertainment. And, our community in particular far exceeds that number. And it's, absolutely. They should not be exposed to it. I don't think there's even a debate on it, honestly, but, hopefully more people will understand that, yes, not only, should you wait to at least 16, but then even then, you still need to have regular conversations with your children, and help kind of, debrief them on what they might be consuming.
I think that, what role do you think the social media should play in that, though, in comparison to parents?
I mean, I think there are some things that the social media platforms could do, to to curb various type of, bad, content, to be, on these companies. But, a lot of these companies are built on, access, and then being able to create a simple account, it's just, it'll be hard to track. But yeah, I mean, there should be more accountability for them for sure. But ultimately, the accountability, is going to be on the parents and the institutions where children send their parents, which is why I always was an advocate from day one. The homeschool, you could control that environment, better, in that type of situation.
Well, one thing when I worked in, okay, my bad.
Oh, go ahead. So you about to say one? Go ahead.
But no, when I worked at Clorox, I was working in Pleasanton, way out there at the plant, at the big headquarter place, and the white people out there had a parenting program that was sponsored by Clorox. You know what I'm saying? They brought experts and training, and they were just teaching how to be a parent. I know some people take offense to that, but, kids don't come with like a package, a guide and things like that. But it takes, institutions to put programs together like that. And I think the institutions that are benefiting from the kids having an account, because they know damn well the kids, are less than 13 years old. That shit, they just click the button. There's no way to reinforce that or to that. So, I mean, they can come up with better ways to do that. I see had that song, FBI warning, don't mean nothing. They called that shit a crime. Yo, that shit's a joke. Press record on my dope remote. We know that shit is not true. So I think the institutions need to do a better job, like start there with enforcing that.
Yeah, they should, but ultimately, like always, it's going to be on you as an individual. We can't control what other people do, but we can 100% control what we do. So, like, for example, my daughter-in-law, she didn't require a company to come and hand feed her some information on how to, raise the children and look at, parenting, tips and ideas. She went and sought that out. And today, there's no excuse to not have access to information. Is everywhere. You know what I mean? So, I put it on.
Let's put it. It's the belt and suspenders. The bottom line is you can do what you can do on your own, but it doesn't hurt to have an institution to get this information. So that having been said, Mr. Floyd X, what you got to say about this, brother?
But I agree with both what the brother's saying. I mean, it is the parents' responsibility to manage it and make sure that they're using social media properly. It is the adults or the parents' attention or the parents' responsibility. So when you're on the social network, you got to monitor to know what's going on there. And then because if you don't monitor, they could find a dangerous area and start going into dangerous territory and stuff like that. I'm thankful that it wasn't so big when my children was little, because I would be all over it like, hey man, y'all can't get off of that shit. Get off that phone. Get off of that shit. I would be all over it. But I'm glad. And I think it's going to be worse with AI. If we think social media is bad now, with this AI shit, just like the people that made that video of them little children cussing and what that Sudanex pointed out, it's going to be worse. It's worse for children now today. They bullying, the online bullying. They could AI somebody doing something inappropriate. It's going to be worse.
Fake porn. brother.
They argue that already. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
El Poo, you got something to say about this, brother?
Yeah, I think social media is bad for children, and it's bad for me too, because I don't understand the 6767 thing. So somebody
yeah, that is the children.
So for me, I always ask my student, what's the atomic number for carbon and nitrogen? And then they look on the periodic table and they say 6-7. Oh, so I use the popular things to teach and stuff. But I want to argue, I want to present the idea that we already get parenting or learn parenting skills from institutions already. The church, the family just is one institution, and through TV. I mean, they teach us how to do things and how they give us models and examples, movies and all of that. So I want to say it doesn't just come from your father or mother or aunties. It comes from institutions as well.
Bring back ass whoopings.
Yeah. The key, I believe, is just if you want to be accountable, you got to be the institution. Early on, my children didn't have influence to any of those things outside of the family, my wife and myself. And then it gave us a time, in the early beginning to at least put a blueprint and a model an example in front of them, and then of course, as they get older, they had options, but at least, it was presented.
I mean, that's called sheltering. I shelter my kids too. I think there's a certain degree of sheltering that you have to do, but you can't. The environment is very strong influence.
Yeah,
I would say that there's some benefit. I mean, I agree. You need to control to the extent that you can control, but there's something to be said about social exposure. Like I said, my children, my daughter, I always said, look, the reason why I put you in public school is because I want you to build social skills of interacting with the people that you're going to run to in life. It's just not an issue of creating a shield for you, but basically training you how to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting exposure to the disease or whatever to build up a defense to it. So I'm just saying that it's more than just that. There's something to be said
we've
about
seen that example, brother.
We
We've seen that example, and so I mean, the comparative, that's like me saying that okay, I have two healthy, plants here, seedlings, and then now I have an option to either put it in some toxic soil or some nice organic soil, and if I put it in the toxic soil, at the very least, the growth of that plant will be stunted, versus if I put it in that, pH balanced, nutrient rich soil, then it's going to grow and flourish. Of course, there's other factors that need to be done, but the point is environment, like brother said, is everything. So early on, it's a matter of, a coaching, training, role playing, exposure, but with, controlled exposure, and then when it gets to a certain point, then now they've been rooted, they've been taught, and now it's on them. They don't have excuse. They at least been given a foundation, and so,
the world is in a toxic soil, my brother.
Yeah, you're right.
Some places are more toxic than others, like in Oakland in the flatlands, as opposed to in the hills. If you live in the hills, just because of those zip codes, you get to live 20 years longer. It's more beneficial to be in a dysfunctional family in a good neighborhood than it is to be in a good family in a dysfunctional neighborhood. The environment is king, and that's it's the king.
Absolutely.
It usually determines outcomes.
So that having been said, I don't know if we probably want to save the slavery thing to another day. So
wait, hold on. Hold on, real quick. I think we should touch on that because the main reason
you do want to talk about it. That's exactly why I said that.
No. I think it should be touched on mainly because it allows us as a segue to understand something greater in context, which we haven't even touched on in this whole show. And that is like literally at any moment, the United States of America is about to attack Venezuela. And everything that's setting up right now, the impacts that it will have on not only regular American citizens, but all of us, are astronomical. We haven't touched on it. So now going into Pete Hegseth and what he said, and the viewpoint that, I shouldn't say what he said, but what he shared that his pastor, has shared with us. I mean, this should be something that should be a more of a wake-up call if we didn't have it already. And I appreciate it. I love when, your enemies, actually expose their thoughts. Are upfront on that.
Give him a horn.
What's going on? I love it. You know what I mean? So then the question now becomes, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? And everyone has their theories, and then I shouldn't say everyone has their theories and their plans and strategies, but, we promoted a strategy on this show, which revolves around preparedness and being out the way, for when things, take a greater turn here in this country. And seeing all the telltale signs, they're telling you. They're showing you
student X. So is this an end time situation, them going into the Venezuela and attacking, or is this just another day in the office for the U.S. government?
Yeah. Well, I think it's more than that because you have to look at the provocation and why. And so they're trying to use a narco war, drugs, coming to the country, harm American citizens as a pretext, for war. And when I say they, I'm talking about the Zionists as well as, of course, the neocons and intertwines. That is what the foundation is. But the truth is just how close China, Russia in particular, of course, Iran and others are with Venezuela, and the oil reserves that are there, and more recently, even they had this Nobel Peace Prize winner who has been telling America that look, come coup our country, come coup it. I'll give you all the control to the country. So these American country, companies, are saying, and they're lining up and be like, okay, man, we could go ahead and snatch this up and then back up Russia and China out of our backyard. Because recently when this thing was going down, and it's still going down, bro, we had Russian submarines right off the coast, right around Cuba, you know what I mean? Right here. You know what I mean? In these shores, and people just don't understand how this thing is heating up, but I hope you all do get educated and pay attention, because right on time, this is where I was going with it. Bro, this dollar is going down. Like my brother always says, you better get you not only some gold if you want to leverage any type of savings that you might have, but silver and smaller denominations would be more tenable in terms of trading and bartering, with people, smaller
gold coins from what's the name?
Gold hit. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, you're right. If you want to do your business with them, that's going to have that impact. But if everything is about us, America first, we don't do much. We really only would care about how our money is valued amongst ourselves. But you know what? Since we're talking about it, let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to send a spotlight to brother Afro Agnostic. Afro Agnostic. This brother said slavery wasn't all bad, and I know that this is just going to be an excuse for you to attack the Bible. So you got it. Go ahead, brother.
My initial response was more kind of how Student X started framing conversation. So I really don't know where to start, but let me just say that our strategy should always to never be inactive, to do nothing. Our strategy should be to decrease or increase what he's describing as the fall of America. And the way it's kind of seen by some groups is this apocalyptic, religious type of
the end times is here. The end times.
Yeah, I would say the end times, man. That shows that
war.
Yeah, that shows that folks have bought into this whole notion of American exceptionalism. Like this, no, it's just another empire that's fallen. I mean, just think in the 20th century, the British Empire fell, the French Empire, the Ottoman Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. But somehow this is the fall of America, is the end times. No, the United States as an empire already fell in the 1860s during the Civil War. And if Black people would have said, oddly abide, I'm not getting involved in that, then the South would have probably lost. So we need to get involved, because if we don't, we ensure MAGA an opportunity to come out on the winning end of this war that they want to have. Secondly, on the issue of slavery, I mean, Black people are not like late to the gate. Black people have been saying 92% of Black people believe MAGA and Trump is racist. We know about Pete Hegseth, and we don't like him. We hate him. And we know they're warmongers. And this particular Pete Hegseth, the head of the Department of War that's waging the war against Venezuela, is a warmonger. We know he's a Christian nationalist.
I think he's just a puppet. He's just doing what.
That's exactly what he is, ultimately. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's keep it real.
But look at who was interest he's advancing, American imperialist interest for the billionaires and so forth. And his pastor believes that slavery is not inherently evil. He's a Christian nationalist. This is a Christian nationalist movement that makes up the majority of the base of MAGA. Charlie Kirk also said that the Civil Rights Act, the Voters' Rights Act of 65 was a bad idea. This church believes that same thing. In addition to that, they believe openly, explicitly, they say it, that the 19th Amendment, women's suffrage, was a bad idea too. This is MAGA. We know this. This is the fucked upness. This is what they want to bring up. They want to bring about old hierarchies, men, patriarchy, white on top.
Handmaid's Tale.
LGBT, crazy shit.
Handmaid's Tale. Yep. Exactly.
Handmaid's Tale. That's it. That's it. But I will say go ahead though.
No. He said, but go ahead.
The preacher is absolutely right when he says slavery is Bible based. It is. That's absolutely accurate.
Okay, I was about to pass this off to you, Mr. Floyd, but he went there, so I need to put this stuff in the context. Okay, so we got to understand. There's this thing called etymology, just like word dynamics and stuff like that. We got to understand
etymology.
Okay, so there we go. So we understand that what's being translated in English, there was basically two concepts of slavery. So there was the indentured servitude, and then there was the chattel slavery. You know what I'm saying? And again, all of these were rules for a very particular person. For some reason, Christians and whatnot go, okay, these rules for you, we're just going to pick some of these and we're going to apply this for the rest of the world. So I'm just saying that you really need the context. There was one thing that was never, ever, ever, ever okay, just stealing people and making them slaves. It's like in law. You can have all these type of dynamics of your contract, but if there's something that blows it up, the contract is null and void. That's basically the application of this stuff to basically American slavery, European slavery. I'm just saying that I could go all into this. I ain't going to go too deep into it, but I'm just saying that, look, at the end of the day, no rules, no system is going to protect an evil person in control. There's just no system that's going to protect an evil person from doing something. At the end of the day, it's going to take a righteous person in power to actually, implement righteousness. And despite what you may have the opportunity to do, a righteous person always has the opportunity to check down. So again, I don't want to make this about the Bible or anything, but
it ain't about how righteous the person is. It's about not giving them the ability to do something. Like they have to pay a cost or an expense if they do X, Y, and Z. That's what changes their behavior. Not necessarily.
But in this particular situation, when we talk about servitude, we talk about.
Tell me this: there's no verse in the Bible that condemns slavery. Not one passage, not one verse. And it's the worst condition that humans can be in. Yet we see an instruction manual on how to conduct slavery. As you said, these are indentured servants. Who were the indentured servants? Jews.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna let you teach. But again, you're saying the word slavery, and I'm saying that you understand that you're applying an English word to just to give you, I'll come back.
Slavery as we know it. Slavery as we know it.
No.
Hey, bro, can I say one thing right after you?
I'm gonna let you do that, Mr. Afro-Ignacy. Remind me of this. So I don't want to take your time. Just remind me to come back to fornication. I'll probably forget it, but go ahead.
Go ahead, student.
Student next. I don't think you were done speaking, right? I jumped in on what you said.
One more sentence or two, really quick. I'm saying there was another. You don't have to. The word slavery necessarily. I think it was used, but it says you can own these people intergenerationally. They will be unto you as a possession, and these were the non-Jewish. So yeah, there was this indentured servant, but it was a two-tier system that happened in the United States. White folks were indentured servants, but black people were permanently slaves. So the slave, and that's what, to me, that's the bullpen of the Bible that you can clearly see that is written by humans. Because I mean, I wrote it down here: 31,000 different passages, 613 commandments. Not one commandment or passage saying slavery is wrong, and it was widely practiced, prevalent in the ancient world. But no condemnation.
Let's see what student next has to say about it.
Well, I mean, a perfect segue, because the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Let him go.
Hold on, brother. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad had always taught that Christianity was a slave-making religion. So to us, from our perspective, it's nothing but, the Zionists out there will be given, you all a nod like this because you're doing exactly what they want. Because if you think that, these little passages about slavery in the Bible you're talking about, man, you wait till you read the Talmud. My goodness, it makes what we're talking about right here look like child play. Again, I always said the hierarchy of what we're talking about right now in terms of white supremacy is that Jewish supremacy, that Zionist supremacy for the state of Israel. That's what's really going down right here. And then we're seeing, that this Hegseth and the crew, the ties to Zionism, and that's the father of all of this right here. So understand what we're looking at.
How is it the father of all of this when these actions, these imperialist actions that we're talking about, or even slavery itself, existed before Zionism existed? Zionism only goes back to the mid-19th century.
But we're talking about right now, today. We're not talking about, in the 19th century. We're talking about right now, the 1st of November, 2025. Right now, you look at America's actions politically, it is as if we're serving a foreign country. And we have a whole group of people right now who are saying, look, enough is enough. We're giving too much, to not only the Zionist, and Israeli interests, to the detriment of American interests, and we're putting people even in power in this administration and this government who have more ties and loyalty to Israel than America. And so that is what, is being discussed real heavily now, and where the people are moving to say, hey, enough is enough, and so we're coming to
the United States is more politically invested in Israel than it is in contrast to the United States, but it's not more committed to Israel than it is to its own elite. I don't know why you make it and frame it in this Zionist when it's really just white.
Because of the billions of dollars and resources that leave these shores, to that country. And then on top of that, the fact that we allow different organizations to be here, not even under the proper status in terms of being a foreign agent.
We do that.
They're able to lobby or our government officials, push causes, promote causes, and then more important than that, we know that there's been blackmail.
I got a question for you, Student X. I got a question for you, Student X. Does America spend more money on America or Israel?
Boom.
Bro, I don't understand what you mean. Does it spend more
money on America than Israel? It's a very simple question. Does America spend more money on America or does it spend more money on Israel?
So, again, it doesn't make sense. The American people, we generate the money and we give the money to the government, and then that money is then allocated and is allocated in all types of ways, And we know just by our military alone,
brother, do you not understand the concept of this money gets spent on America? I'm saying that the wealth is generated in America.
Okay. To whose benefit? To benefit the American people or to other interests? That's the point I'm arguing. And I'm saying that, we spend money on America, but then we use that power and that
I asked you a simple question and you started dancing. And my point is to prove that I'm just saying that, look, if you want to say that disproportionate money goes to Zionist interests, I'm not going to dispute that argument one way or the other.
You ignore my point. You ignore my point.
Because you ignored my point. I'm the one who asked the question.
You asked me, is the majority of money that we have being generated, being spent on America? Of course it is. What they say is the money that we spend and give to Israel and others is for the benefit of America too. But that's not my point. The point is, again, we have another government that has a way more influence over our own government. In fact, we have officials in our government that has more loyalty to another government. And you all don't agree with that?
You think that Trump has more loyalty to Israel than he has to America?
To who? Do you say who?
Do you think Trump has more loyalty?
Look, by his actions, and we were just to interpret just looking at his actions.
I just asked you if he did. I just asked you, do you think he did?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it myself. I think there's a little bit more going on behind the scenes.
Say Israel, we know that Israel is the biggest beneficiary of U.S. aid, right? They get the biggest chunk. But say if they were off the list, then the second in place, which I don't know offhand, would get the biggest chunk. I mean, we could easily then look at them and say, oh, they must be controlling the United States. They're not. They're just the biggest recipients. I agree they get a disproportionate amount from U.S. aid, but to take from that, to extrapolate from that the Israel is controlling the United States. And
bro, that's not the only fact I would cite to say,
Wait, before we go too far, hold on a second. I really need to address this point. So much hatred of Jews, will it ever stop? We need to be very clear that, maybe some people's position on the show is one way. We are not a monolith on this position. And
we sure are. Nor am I talking about hatred to Jews. No, let me make it clear. I've deliberately teacher. There's no hatred of Jews coming.
Let me finish my point.
About America.
Hey, brother. Let me finish. Hey, brother, I will pass it to you. Let me finish my point. Okay. My point is that, again, some of us don't think it's very rational to pile this on the Jewish people when we understand that the resources are obviously, objectively, much more dedicated to America. We understand that the people that control this country it's not the Jewish people. That's just not how it works. So I'm just saying that, you know, and if you agree, if you think that, you can think that again. But I don't have any issues with the Jews, and honestly, I don't even have a problem with Zionists. Now that makes me unique position on this show. But again, this is not going to be a Jew bashing show. So that's what I want to put out there for Liberty Twitcher. And if we do criticize some things that Israel does, that doesn't mean that Israel isn't, you know, worthy of criticism. That doesn't mean that certain Jewish people of power are worthy of criticism. But what we're not going to do is criticize Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. So
hey, real quick, thank you, nice guy, for doing that. For the record, I took Student X off the stage because he wouldn't let you talk, but he removed himself from the studio. So I didn't kick him out the studio. I just took him off the screen, and I was planning on putting him back. So just for the record, he removed himself from the studio.
And feel free to pop back in, brother. I'm definitely okay to let you speak. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, again, you wouldn't let me speak. So you need to let me make my point before I pass it off to you. So if you want to come back in and say what you got to say, Student X, you got the floor uninterrupted. Yes, but you know, so we'll give you a moment. But that having been said, do you want to say anything in the meanwhile, Afro Agnostics, while we give Student X that opportunity?
Yeah, I think that notion that you know, it tied that notion that Israel is controlling the United States is tied into a bigger notion of the international Jew, the worldwide conspiracy of Jews and the Rothschilds and all of this anti-Semitism. And I think a lot of times we don't realize, or you know, how big anti-Semitism was even before the United States even existed in Europe. The actual word ghetto is derived from a place where Jews were forced to live in Italy and Germany initially. So, you know, I'm against, like you said, I'm against Zionism, I'm against the state of Israel, but I'm not, you know, I don't fall into this theory that Jews are controlling the United States and the world, and Israel is on top in the global, you know, elite.
And we do, and even though you believe that, you do acknowledge that there are rich Jewish people that do have extra influence on some things like media, just because they may own these companies and stuff. But again, they don't.
And media is not like the biggest industry, as big as we think it is, and they fell into and that's the thing, they fell into Hollywood and media only because the WASP didn't want that, because that wasn't, I mean, as far as motion pictures, Jews are associated strongly with motion pictures because motion pictures were vulgar back in the day. You know, people went to live theater. That was considered elite and bourgeois. And they let the Jews have that and have their silly minstrel Negroes, you know, in that industry. So that's how they, you know, gained and became associated with Hollywood.
And again, that is still only particular companies, particular persons. This is not a reflection on the Jewish community or anything like that. Just as, like, you know, LeBron is one guy. You know what I'm saying? If he accomplished something, that's good. But LeBron isn't a representative of all Black people. And just like that, whatever rich Jewish people that have influence, you know, are not.
I will say that's part of that disproportion. I can understand where Student X is coming from, the nation and so forth.
We all conceded that.
Yeah, because Jewish people do have a disproportionate influence on Black institutions and organizations in the Black community, and I have a problem with that. There's there's junior partners in white supremacy, and they've had this direct paternal relationship with Black people and Black organizations. Just one quick example: the NAACP didn't get its first Black president until the late 1950s or 60s. NAACP was started in, I think, 1909. All of its presidents and its higher ups have been Jewish, so there is some truth in their influence on our stuff. I don't like that. I'm against Jewish paternalism and against Zionism.